Welcome back to the Bobby King Iraqi Dinar channel. It's Bobby King here, bringing you the latest updates on Iraqi Dinar news right from Iraq. Today, we're diving into some big news that's got everyone talking. Now, I know many of you are eager for that free-floating exchange rate. Believe me, I hear you. But right now, Iraq is moving forward with a fixed rate as the new bank transfer mechanisms launch. In recent news, Iraq's monetary reform efforts are advancing with the implementation of a new bank transfer mechanism. According to statements from prominent Iraqi officials and televised discussions, this reform is set to initiate with a fixed exchange rate, a move aimed at stabilizing the country's currency before a potential transition to a free-floating rate. The initial phase of the fixed rate is expected to lend predictability and confidence to Iraq's economic framework while other structural and financial systems are being strengthened. A fixed rate with future goals. This new monetary framework has garnered much anticipation among Iraqis and international investors alike. The idea of a free-floating rate, a currency exchange rate determined by supply and demand in the open market, is something many had hoped would be implemented sooner rather than later. However, with the complexities involved in Iraq's current economic reforms, the decision to start with a fixed rate appears to align with the Central Bank of Iraq's (CBI) goal of ensuring a stable launch and gradual transition. There is a distinct advantage to this approach. The fixed rate provides a stable point of reference that can help Iraq recalibrate its economic transactions with minimal risk of volatility, especially in the initial stages. This stability is crucial as Iraq has seen substantial market fluctuation due to currency and trade limitations, particularly under international sanctions and economic challenges. Support from the US Treasury and its strategic implications. Iraq's monetary reform initiative has attracted support from the United States Treasury, which has been instrumental in promoting Iraq's transition to a stable economic future. Dr. Mazhar Mohammad Saleh, an economic advisor to the Iraqi government, recently discussed the importance of this support on Iraqi television, emphasizing that the U.S. Treasury's endorsement is aimed at ensuring the successful rollout of Iraq's new exchange rate mechanism. The U.S. Treasury's involvement is not just a sign of financial backing but also a strategic partnership that aligns with both countries' economic interests. The United States sees a stable, self-sufficient Iraq as beneficial to the Middle East's broader geopolitical landscape, especially given Iraq's pivotal role in oil production and its strategic location in the region. The Treasury's commitment is not only to help Iraq initiate the fixed rate but also to ensure the proper mechanisms are in place for Iraq to advance to a more autonomous, free-floating rate when the timing and economic conditions are right. The role of lower denominations in Iraq's economic strategy. A crucial component of Iraq's monetary reform involves the reintroduction of lower denomination currency notes. These lower notes, which have long been a part of the CBI's currency reform plans, are seen as essential for fostering everyday economic activity and improving public access to currency across all demographics. For years, the Iraqi people have anticipated the release of these lower denominations, and the U.S. Treasury's recent affirmation of support signifies that the CBI is now closer than ever to fulfilling this promise. The goal behind the lower notes is to enable smaller, more frequent transactions among the public, especially given that much of Iraq's economy still operates with cash. By putting these notes in circulation, Iraq aims to enhance financial inclusion, allowing citizens easier access to their money while reducing reliance on large, unwieldy denominations that have historically posed logistical challenges. A vital mechanism for Iraq's path to economic stability. Both the U.S. Treasury and the Central Bank of Iraq are unified in their stance that implementing this fixed rate and lower denominations is the most critical mechanism at present. It represents a structured effort to bring predictability and ease to Iraq's economic landscape, which has seen ups and downs since the Iraq War, compounded by sanctions, inflation, and currency restrictions. With these steps, Iraq hopes to mitigate some of the inflationary pressures that have strained its economy over recent years. The fixed-rate approach is also likely designed to make trade smoother and reduce currency manipulation risks, all while preparing the country for eventual integration into the international economic system. The next steps: free-floating rate and regional integration. While the initial plan revolves around a fixed rate, officials within Iraq, as well as international observers, recognize that the eventual goal is to transition to a free floating exchange rate. The floating rate would reflect the Iraqi dinar's value based on real-time demand and supply dynamics, offering Iraq greater flexibility and alignment with global currency systems. A free floating rate, however, requires robust financial systems, a stable political environment, and more diverse economic channels beyond oil production, Iraq's primary revenue source. The Iraqi government, with US Treasury backing, aims to cultivate these necessary conditions through a gradual process, first stabilizing with the fixed rate while preparing for broader integration over the coming years. A partnership built on mutual economic interests. The US Treasury's commitment to Iraq's economic success extends beyond monetary reform. By supporting Iraq in implementing stable financial mechanisms, the United States strengthens its partnership with a critical ally in the Middle East. For Iraq, this backing from the US Treasury is significant in its efforts to restore faith in the dinar, create job opportunities, and generate positive growth for its citizens. Moreover, a stable, internationally respected Iraqi dinar could open doors to regional trade and economic partnerships. Iraq's neighbors, such as Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait, could become essential trade partners, fostering a Middle Eastern economy that relies less on foreign currencies and more on locally respected, interconvertible currencies. This shift could be a long-term boon to Iraq's economic health and political sovereignty, aligning with broader U.S. goals for stability in the region. The road ahead. Managed stability and opportunities for investors. The initial implementation of the fixed exchange rate has been perceived as a balancing act, maintaining stability while gradually working toward flexibility. While some investors may have hoped for immediate free-floating conditions, the fixed rate signals a cautious and well-considered approach by the CBI and the U.S. Treasury. Once the fixed rate establishes a foundation, the anticipation around a potential shift to a free floating rate could present opportunities for foreign investors interested in Iraq's economic growth trajectory. The lower denominations add another layer of intrigue, potentially stimulating local businesses and creating an environment in which local economic activity is both possible and encouraged. Please subscribe my channel and support me. You guys have a great day. Thank you.